Alright guys, how y'all doing? Today we have here the Walh Cordless Senior, made by Walh Professional. These are slightly modified. They have the staggered tooth from the Walh Magic Clip. I've had these now about 2 years, and they're still holding charge. They're still as good as they were when they came out of the box. But with all this quarantine going on, I have some time to actually disassemble the clipper and reassemble it to make it clipper ready for when it's time to go back. So without further ado, let's get this video started. What products you can use for this is, of course, you have gloves. Put gloves on. We're going to be using clipper side spray to disinfect the blades, the housing, and just let them sanitize. Then after, we're going to spray our herbicide spray disinfectant just to kind of finish off the disinfection. And of course we have our oil for our blades, so that way they can be fully lubricated after the whole thing is done. And a brush. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is remove our blades. Make sure you don't lose any screws in the process of this. So here's our blades. Next, we're going to remove. Keep your finger right here. For most people, for some reason, this piece always pops out. This brown slide always pops out. So keep your finger on there as you remove your lever. As you're removing the lever, there's a screw that is underneath that's holding the lever in place. This washer here as well, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that washer that's there, make sure not to lose that as well, because that's what keeps it in an actual distance that it needs to be. Because if that washer is gone, when you swivel your lever, it will catch on the plastic and it will cause your screw to unscrew. So make sure you keep that brown piece there. Now keep your finger here as you remove your slide bar. Now, gently put your finger to the side and gently pull. Do it slow because there's a spring underneath. And remove the spring. See, this is all built up. And I disinfect my clippers quite often. I take them apart quite often. Here's that screw that I was talking about. Slightly tap. And there it is. Put that off to the side as well. So, next to do is remove our lid. I've seen a lot of people say you gotta pull and all that. Right here, if you put your flat, your Phillip here, and you pop, it pops right off without causing any tension, without messing up any of this side, without messing up any of the lid area. You just hear it and pop open. So without further ado, let's get to moving our lid. Now we're going to put back on our Phillip flat. I'm going to put it right here, right on the switch. See that little separation created? You're gonna push and then pop. And that removes your lid, and now you have an open clipper. That's step one so far. Now, what I like to do is when I'm actually taking apart my clipper here, I like to take off the switch and clean underneath, because sometimes, as you can tell, the hair gets inside the clipper, and if the hair gets inside the lever, sometimes, I don't know if that's ever happened to y'all, but when you turn on, it goes, it won't catch. The reason being for it not catching, because there's hair on this part, and that's where it makes contact to turn on. So this is no contact, this is contact. And if you have hair on that, sometimes it doesn't create the right contact, and it'll cause the clipper to skip or not turn on sometimes. So cleaning this is a very important part, as well as in here, because if we remove all this, you see all that hair buildup that's in there. Okay, so next thing to do is we're gonna lift up the motherboard. Be very gentle with this because you don't want nothing to unsolder. When you lift, I'm gonna pull the battery out slightly, and we're gonna clean all in here. And all in here. If you feel comfortable, you can remove this and pop it out and clean more into there. But when you do, be careful, there's a magnet that's here. And the magnet is what keeps the rotary that moves the blade in place at a proper motion. Okay, so here we are, completely taken apart. Let's continue to our next step. So, at the moment, we're going to need a hair duster to get more into deep cleaning in here, because obviously this brush is not going to help. So, first things first, let's clean off our blades. With us cleaning the blades first, the spray disinfectant can disinfect the blade. It takes about 10 minutes to properly disinfect if you reach it back into the bottle. So we gotta make sure that there's no debris and that it's clean of all hair. We set them off to the side. So as this is going, put them off to the side here. Okay, so we get our spray disinfectant, and we're gonna spray our slide bar and our teeth, and bottom blade and top. Make sure that you clear all debris. And we're just gonna let those set right there. And since this one's an internal piece, we're not going to use this one. Because that's more like of the disinfected, dry out plastic. You want something that's going to lubricate the plastic. Something that is not going to break these parts. And I learned that from my first magic because I used this one and after a while I broke it. So what I've been using to disinfect this part is our clipper side. Get the clipper side. Right, now we're going to spray slightly. This one's more gentle on plastic, at least in my perspective. Okay, so just this off here. And use this one to get on the outer layer. Get all the hair that's stuck in there. Same thing, clipper side. You know what? No, same thing we're going to use to disinfect it. And we're just going to leave that off to the side. Careful when dusting this off because you don't want to lose this piece to the spring. Gonna spray. That's crazy because as soon as you spray the disinfectant, you hear it disinfecting. I don't know if I can hear it, but it's disinfecting. It's crazy. Okay, so next, take apart our lever. Remember, don't forget to lose the little washer that's in there. Wipe all this down. And you want to be careful when taking this apart, switch, because if you take it apart and you lose that bearing, then you're not going to have nothing to create a contact. But if you happen to lose it and you got BBs on the side or in your house somewhere from owning a BB gun or something, I'm more than likely sure that you can use that as a new source of contact. Don't quote me on it, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it would work. So, get that. We're going to spray that down as well. Put that out to the side. Now, you get the second half of it. Wipe it down. Spray it. Get it out to the side here. I am going to remove this washer so I can clean the inside here. Get all the hair out. Since this one, like I said, is harsher to plastic, this is kind of made out of the same plastic that the brown piece is made of, the one that moves the blade. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually spray clipper side on this one. Be more gentle to the piece. And we'll spray that out to the side there. Okay, so the little bolt that's inside that holds the lever, we're going to dust that and clean that as well. But basically everything that's in this clipper is going to get sprayed. We'll put the screws off to the side here. We're going to spray them down as well. So now we're gonna dust off our whole inside. Okay, so the more stuck on part, which is always going to be here, you can just get your brush and kind of dust. And then in here as well, make sure you get all that hair out. Be very careful when doing it upside down like I'm doing it here for some reason. You don't want to desolder anything, but try not to move the clipper as much when cleaning it like this. So the reason why I have it upside down as well like this, while this is hanging, I'm going to put my finger and it's going to hold slightly like that. So when I spray the disinfectant, it doesn't get in the internals. So put that out to the side. Okay, so now we got a cleaner mess. Alright, so now that we're clean, grab our clipper housing and we're going to put back in our battery. Thread downward, like that. Get your motherboard, put it back in its slots. You'll see two grooves where it goes into. Now we're going to connect. This has grooves in its own. Just gonna push it in there. Oh, there we are. All fitted in grooves. Make sure that these don't touch, because if they do touch, they can possibly create contact, which can turn it on. So here's our lever. Put back together. This side, straight side is going to be against the wall. Curved side is going to be against the back wall. You can close it to make it easier to put back in. But once you put it in, make sure to unhook it. So, like so, you put it in and undo. Because you don't want to create contact and turn it on just yet. So then we grab our screws. And we're just going to put them in. Okay, till we have our screws in. Now with your finger, you'll bite them in. One at a time. Screw them in. Once you screw that side in, then you do the other. And this is your test run. Hear it? That sounds a little loud. Okay, so once you're done with that part, you are going to put back on our lid. it kind of clips back into place there. Make sure it still turns on. Okay. Now we got our 3 screws. I always do one at the bottom first. You just want to tighten it enough to where it feels tightened. You don't want to over tighten. And you're going to put your top one. And that one you just want to hold it there. You don't want to tighten it all the way completely. And you're going to get your last one and tighten this one. And then you go back and tighten the top. And check it. Just to make sure that it's still turning on. Now, when putting back on the switch and it doesn't turn on, what I came to term with, go ahead and roll this again for y'all so you can see what I'm saying. If it happens not to turn on after you put back on the switch, if you're like, what the heck, I'm doing everything that the video says I'm to do, and it is not connecting, what is going on? Why is it not turning on? Man, did I mess up my clipper? Man, what did I do? Why did I do this? I should have just left it alone. So when you get into that oh shit moment, what you can do is, after you do this and you turn it on, it don't turn on, grab your plug, right? Plug it in real quick. Once you plug it in, your light will turn on. You see that it's taking charge? Then turn it on. Okay, then it'll be on. And once you unplug, try it again, turn it on. If it's turning on, then we did it right. If it's still not turning on, then what it could be is you didn't let the disinfectant fully dry, and it is still wet, so then that's why it's not creating a perfect contact. The contact is still wet, and it still needed to dry. So, test it. Make sure you get it all set and done before you put back on that lid. If you so happen to have it off and then bring it back on and it doesn't turn on, that's what you do, you plug it in. So, mine tested, turned on perfectly. So, put it back together. I know I did it differently earlier, but I'm still going to tighten in the pattern that I tightened. So I am going to tighten back, a little bit of the front, and then the back. Then go back to the front to finish tightening. Still turns on, we're still good. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, the first part we're gonna do is apply your spring. Now your spring bar up is gonna go in. These hooks face down into the clipper. And it'll look just like that. Now, this brown piece, everybody has a problem. For some reason, when they put it, it pops right out. Why? I don't know. I guess it depends on your wear and tear of the clipper. But again, I said I've had these for 2 years and it still holds perfectly. Okay, so if yours holds, then you can leave it and continue working. If not, you can save this part till after you put in your bolt, and get your lever ready. Remember, the rubber part goes back into here. Okay, get that ready. And we're gonna bring our bar. Okay, so again, you already have your screw in there. Try not to tilt it so it don't fall. Hooks into the clipper, bar upward, brown piece, push down. If yours holds, perfect. If not, then you're gonna need to hold right here, just like that. Hold it down till it's straight. You don't want it too up, you want it straight, kind of down a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna put pressure onto that clipper. You're gonna put pressure just like that so it can stay. You're gonna get your bar. Open side goes into this. Remember, your screw is still there, your bolt is still there, so you don't want it to fall. So you're gonna hold, push all the way in there. Once you have it all the way forward, you can let go. If your brown piece keeps popping off, you can let go, because the back end of this brown piece, that slide, is what stays in there to hold it into place. So once you do that, you're good. You can let go. If it so happens to keep popping off while you're doing this, you're gonna need to hold tension and keep holding it while enough to get your cutting blade. And if it still pops off while it's going, right, like you're trying to put on the blade because you're holding, so what you can do is you can kind of cheat a little bit. You can put this on your blade, your cutting blade, just like so. Make sure that the brown piece connects with a rotary. You want it to place the same way as a rotary. Then you just hold like this. Make sure that the bolt's still in there before you close, so it's still closed. You get your cutting blade or your fade blade, and then you move your fingers from the side, and now you're holding with these, and you're gonna hold back down with these. So holding these blades like this, press down, remove your fingers, still holding, then grab the fade blade from the side. Then you get your screws. And you tighten. Don't tighten all the way, because what we're also going to do is zero gap them as well. Okay. So, note, my blade's still moving. It is just on there enough to hold my blade and that brown piece. Now, it so happens that that brown piece does break. If you're missing one side, the blade won't hold pressure on that one side. So then you'll have snagging, you'll have pulling, and you just won't have that nice blend off that side. And that's what happened to these before, and I replaced that part. I bought it from, I believe it was eBay. I just typed in Walh replacement parts, and it ended up popping up. I think it was like maybe like $4, to be honest with you. So bolt's still in place. We have everything else. Now all we gotta do is put our lever. When tightening your lever, you don't want to over tighten, because then you'll strip the bolt. So you just kind of want to tighten enough to where it feels good. See, and if you move and it feels over tightened, well, loosen it up a little bit. You want it to your comfortability, how you feel when you're cutting hair. I like mine kind of tight, that way I know that it's not moving. Okay, so our blade is still not set, so zero gapping. There's a such thing as overgap. So there's an overgap where the cutting blade goes over the fade blade, and that's something you do not want, because if you do that, then you're going to be cutting up your customers. So what we're going to do is tighten them a little bit more. Not all the way. And You still see you got that wiggle room? Still got that wiggle, it's still moving. All you do is hold our blade up and look and eyeball. Once you eyeball, I don't know if you can see that, but look how much is that little bit of lip there. So tighten. We're gonna do one side first. Hold, kind of at an angle that you're gonna tighten. So the first one I'm gonna tighten is this one. So I'm gonna hold a little bit here. No, hold right here in this corner while I'm tightening this one. And you're gonna put pressure there on that, because when you tighten, it adjusts. So you double check, make sure that your blade is straight. Since you tighten the other side, it might be hard to move. Up and down, make sure that it's straight. Up and down, make sure that it's straight. Adjust. And once it's straight, and move your lever a couple times to see if there's an over gap. Turn it on. Obviously, it's gonna need oil. So turn it on. A good way to check if it's biting is if you do this. Right now I have a little bit of biting on this side. So we untighten it a little bit. We're gonna untighten this just a tad so that way I can readjust the whole blade. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten the away side since that's the side I was biting. And then we're gonna do the inner side. And move your blade, make sure that it's straight. And the check. Bam. There we go. No cutting. Perfect. So now we're gonna oil our blades. So what I start is I start middle, ends, sides. Give it a little bit so it can run in, and flip sides. And then you'll just kind of want to move your blade a little bit, get in there, and turn it on. Just let it kind of roll in the clipper. And there we go. We have your cordless senior, disassembled, reassembled, put back together, disinfected, zero gapped, and runs like a dream. So if y'all need any questions, y'all can use my IG and message me and let me know what's going on. Hey Joe, I did this in the video and it's still not working. What can it possibly be? Send me a clip of what it's doing, and from there I will be able to assist you. I hope this video has helped you for not only barbers but personal care. If you cut at home, it's a good thing to disinfect using clipper side and a spray disinfectant. Now these bottles aren't expensive. I believe this one goes for $6 something, and then this one is like $5 something. So these are the products that you'll use to get your ultimate goal of completion. Once you have everything disinfected and put back together, you're good to go. Now, before you leave, if you have excess oil, you can grab a cloth and kind of dab it out a little bit. And one last thing before you put it away, spray your blade. The reason being, since you did spray the disinfectant on it last, that can potentially cause rust on it. Now you want this one because this one is an anti-rust. It helps keep the blade sanitary, sterile, and rust prevention. So once you spray that, you can just kind of dab, and you are set. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope y'all have a good day. God bless, and keep your head up with this quarantine. This is Joe Fade coming to you live from my house, and I pray and hope that each one of y'all are safe out there. Thank you for watching this video, and God bless.